Cambodia begs for help, but Vietnam goes to Thailand. What is really happening? Just hours after Cambodia issued an urgent appeal to the international community, calling for intervention in its escalating border conflict with Thailand, observers were stunned to discover that a Vietnamese delegation had arrived in Bangkok, not Phnom Penh. No public statements, no direct response. Vietnam, a longtime close partner of Cambodia, seemed to be ignoring the plea for help? Or is there a more calculated diplomatic strategy behind this silence? In the final days of July, the Cambodia-Thailand border flared up once again. The Preah Temple area, a hotspot previously ruled on by the International Court of Justice in 1962, became the center of military action. The Thai military launched sudden artillery strikes on Cambodian defense positions, citing territorial violations as justification. In response, Cambodia mobilized thousands of troops and returned fire using rocket artillery. The clashes escalated rapidly, displacing more than 30,000 civilians. International media reported the events, calling it the most serious confrontation between the two countries in over a decade. In this context, Cambodia sent urgent diplomatic messages to various regional nations, especially Vietnam. A direct diplomatic note was sent to Vietnam's Ministry of Foreign Affairs with language that revealed deep desperation. "We hope that Vietnam, as a long-standing friend, will speak up for Cambodia and even provide logistical or intermediary support if needed." Cambodian media described it as a historic cry for help. But just one day later, regional media reported the arrival of a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation in Bangkok. According to Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Vietnamese delegation was there to discuss regional issues and bilateral cooperation. There was no mention of Cambodia, nor any public condemnation of the conflict. Cambodia's first reaction was disappointment. Several local newspapers wrote, "While we're under attack, our eastern brother is shaking hands with the aggressor." Some even labeled Vietnam strategically cold. But is Vietnam's silence and choice to go to Thailand first really a betrayal? Analysts say Vietnam's actions should not be interpreted emotionally. Vietnam follows an independent foreign policy and does not interfere in bilateral disputes between other countries unless there is a clear international mandate or a direct threat to its own security. If Vietnam had publicly sided with Cambodia or provided immediate aid, Thailand could have perceived it as hostile, escalating the situation further. Instead, Vietnam chose a more subtle path, going to Bangkok. There it could speak directly with Thailand, the party using force, to clarify its position and seek de-escalation. A veteran diplomat remarked, "Sometimes the best way to help a friend under attack is not to run to comfort them, but to talk down the person holding the gun." After the closed-door meeting in Bangkok, actual developments on the ground began to shift. Thailand started withdrawing some of its artillery units from the border. Military-level negotiations between the two countries, previously frozen for a week, resumed. Though Vietnam never made a public statement, the results suggest that Vietnam may have played a quiet intermediary role, not loud, but effective. It's worth noting that both Thailand and Cambodia are key neighboring countries to Vietnam. A prolonged war between them would destabilize the region and directly affect Vietnam's southern border security and economic flow. Therefore, Vietnam cannot choose sides. Vietnam can only choose stability. The choice to go to Bangkok before Phnom Penh was Vietnam's way of maintaining balance. Between historical bonds with Cambodia and significant economic ties with Thailand, Vietnam cannot afford to tilt. Instead, Hanoi positions itself as a dialogue partner, not promising anything publicly, not making noise, but acting with strategy. Eventually, Cambodia seemed to recognize this. After a few days of silence, Cambodian media suddenly changed tone. An article in Khmer Times admitted, Vietnam didn't need to say anything. Their actions spoke louder. Phnom Penh Post called Vietnam the quiet peacekeeper. In diplomacy, silence doesn't always mean indifference, and speaking out doesn't always bring results. Vietnam may have chosen a wiser route: fewer words, more outcomes. That's what makes neighboring countries cautious and what earns Vietnam respect from both Cambodia and Thailand. Cambodia may have begged for a statement, but Vietnam gave them something greater: action, unspoken, but capable of changing the situation on the ground.